All right, everybody, what's going on, man? We're back with another video from the Nosebleed Section, sports market analyst, football affiliate, our podcast, official podcast for the page. Unfortunately, we couldn't do this one live, a little bit late. Some shit's going on with our, just a lot of shit we have going on. It's a lot of scheduling conflicts, but we all got together. Me, just 90%. Paul, Quan, Casey's back with us. Always happy to have him on. And of course, Benny. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
Ready to rock.
Yeah, man. Everything is everything.
Being in Tampa, I'm just trying to survive. Everything's going on, the wildness and craziness. I'm actually quarantining and being safe.
Coronavirus.
Nah, right now it's the crowd.
Extra smooth with his new mic.
Yeah.
Y'all done? Leave that for 3 count. Leave that for 3 count.
Hey.
My bad.
This still has to go with the Super Bowl. Remember, I'm in Tampa, so everything's going on here. I mean, let me just give it the people's going on. So 50 Cent's having a party tonight. Somebody else having a party tonight. And then tomorrow, Mike Tyson's going to be at another event. And then last night, apparently there was a shooting at a place called Ybor City. And the crowd was like running. And then an hour after that, there was a robbery and the guy got shot. So, yeah. Let's go Tampa.
Yeah, Paul Stenhouse.
I'm staying.
Tampa just turned into the Bronx. Like, what is going on?
I don't know, man.
God.
All right. Well,
that was your Tampa news update.
Obviously, tomorrow is the big day. Super Bowl's tomorrow. Bucks versus Chiefs. Mahomes, Brady. Everybody knows we'll be doing our own thing. Everybody's going to different Super Bowl parties and XYZ, blah, blah. So we're going to do our prediction show, see what everybody's thinking. Oh, before we get to that, Jaquan, didn't you have news on the potential Carson Wentz blockbuster? You want to put that out real quick?
Yeah. Apparently the deal is close, and it consists of a first-round pick, running back Tariq Cohen, and quarterback Nick Foles back to Philly in exchange for Carson Wentz.
Wow.
So the official rumor is Carson Wentz is now a Chicago Bear. So essentially, they just traded for a more expensive Mr. Trubisky. Good job, guys. Great job.
Gotta love the Eagles.
The Bears.
Yeah, for the Bears, is Carson really an upgrade over Trubisky? Because he can't stay healthy. Like
turnover.
I didn't get the question out in case he's shaking his head like hell no.
Well, I think they're just trying to make amends for skipping over Deshaun Watson. Everyone knows that I'm the Clemson homer, but they're literally just trying to backpedal and trying to fill that void of not having that franchise quarterback, and taking a flyer on Wentz might be their latest, attempt to do so.
So, do you guys think this is gonna change their draft plans? I know we were talking about before we started. Do you believe this is gonna change the Bears draft plan at all? Do they sit here and?
I just hope they don't draft another tight end. That's where I'm at right now. Just draft a receiver.
Here's my question.
Just then the Bears are drafting Kyle Pitts from Florida.
Wait. Here's my question. After the Khalil Mack trade, they still have first round picks?
No. I don't think they do.
I thought they gave Chucky this generation's and next generation's first round draft picks for Khalil Mack.
Apparently they dug a first round pick out of somewhere. I don't know where they got it from, but they got it from somewhere. And now it's going to Philly.
That's
crazy.
And then for the Eagles, like we were saying again, what we were saying,
you get your savior back. You get the holy one.
Yeah, but
the holy Foles.
Peterson, he worked so. I don't know. I don't see it. He worked well because Peterson changed that whole system for him. It's gonna different coach will come up with a whole different system.
Listen,
it's gonna work out.
This is Jalen Hurts' team now. Up until right before you either need to make the playoffs or you need to win in the playoffs.
Damn.
Then you already know what's gonna happen. It's showtime.
Oh geez.
It's Nicky's season. That's all he's there for. He's there for one game.
Here's my
one
thing.
shot.
It's like I mentioned earlier. They got rid of Peterson in part too because of the fact that Peterson and Wentz's relationship was fractured. So they prefer to keep the quarterback. They do that, and my man goes like, "Nope, I still want to leave." It's like
Man said
they're
F you and your whole
screwed.
team, bro. I'm
Pretty
still out
much,
here.
they were screwed.
I'm still
It's
out
crazy.
here.
Now,
But I mean, for me, that's interesting for the Eagles though, because now the Eagles have what? 6, and they have possibly. I don't even think the Bears had. Did the Bears have a first round pick this year? I have no idea. I think they had a first round pick this year, and now it's gone.
Here's my question: why do they go for Tariq when they have Miles Sanders?
Because there is no such thing as a singular team, and now John Lynch has officially entered Canton. Breaking news.
Nice.
Oh, right.
The Bears are at 20 in the first round.
Bears are
Well, now the Eagles have 6 and 20. So you know what that sounds like to me?
supposedly. It's not official yet. Supposedly. Like so.
Well,
All I'm
I'll
saying
put it this way: they need a left tackle.
that they do.
Bring my phone. Bring
You
my
got
phone
one?
at number 2.
I was just about
Bring
to
my
say, you know
phone.
what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a trade
Bring
to
my
the
phone.
Jets.
Bring my phone.
You know what? You know
That's
what?
all I'm saying.
You know what I'm starting to look
Hit
at,
my line.
bro.
Hit my line, dog.
Are we getting Miles
Hit my
Sanders?
line,
Are we
dog.
getting Miles Sanders, Jay? You think we're getting Miles
Bro,
Sanders?
I would be ecstatic.
Why you getting Miles Sanders?
I would be ecstatic.
Why are you getting Miles Sanders?
They have Tariq.
This is one person.
So give me 6, give me 20, and give me Miles Sanders for 2. Hit my line, dog.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm
You
saying.
get Miles
know what?
Then I'll
No.
give them 20.
How about y'all
23.
demand Boston Scott too? Because I'm tired of seeing him.
The NFL
Listen,
don't
I'll take
run.
Boston Scott too.
The NFL
I'll
don't
take
want
Boston
run.
Scott.
The NFL does not run one running back teams like that no more. You know that. The Bears.
That's what I'm saying. They run stables. That's
The
what
Bears-
I'm thinking.
So the Eagles can get Tariq and Miles Sanders. Listen. I don't want the Bears to have Tariq Cohen because obviously being a Giants fan, I don't want to see Tariq Cohen twice a year. But if you're the Eagles and you can add Miles Sanders and Tariq Cohen, why don't you? Now, if you're the Jets, great, get Miles Sanders. I'm a Penn State guy. I love Miles Sanders, and I was devastated when I saw him go to the Eagles. So I mean, take him. Go to New York, Miles. I'm like, if you're not a Giant, be a Jet. You're at least in New York. I get it.
Here's my question. The last year of his contract is 2022. How much you think he'll get? He is free agency.
Miles?
Yeah, he is free agency in 2023.
He's got another year to put up serious production. And then we can have that conversation. That's the question, because you know that running back market is like it could go either way. But what I will say is 6 and 20 is looking real sweet right now. And you flip 20, 23 next year, Seattle's pick, second round pick from Seattle next year and Sam Darnold for Watson. I'll take that. That's a deal I'll take. That is a deal I'll take, because you can still get Jamar Chase, because you're probably not going to get Devonta at that point.
I mean,
Devonta,
or you have 6, 20, and 23.
Getting the better wide receiver, and Devonta Smith is awesome.
I know, I get that, but I think
that's
the Dolphins
that's how high I think.
Smith.
That's how high I think of Jamar Chase, though.
Oh,
I think Devonta's awesome. I think Jamar Chase is better.
I personally love Jamar Chase.
Me too.
It's a personal thing, but
listen to
I think
all
at
this
this point,
praise from my son.
How do you like Jamar Chase over Devonta Smith, and you're a Bama fan?
Me?
Yes.
Because I don't have really any stake in college football. I watch for players. I don't watch for teams.
Yeah, he's an Alabama fan.
It just so happens that Alabama tends to have the best players.
And like most Bama fans, they're bandwagon, Joe. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'll openly admit I'm a bandwagon fan. I will tell you that 100,000%. I started watching the NCAA because I liked playing NCAA on the game, and then that's how I started watching college football.
Coming back.
I have no I'm from New York, bro. We don't have a college team. We just pick up wherever like I was a Clemson fan for like 2 seconds. We from New York, we don't got a team.
College football barely exists in New Jersey. You guys know that. Come on now.
I know.
Nah. It's just something that Joe knows about with them New York football teams in college.
We're not talking about that. We're getting
Yes,
way
we
off
are.
topic. We're not talking about this. We are not. We're getting way off topic. This is a conversation for after we're done recording. Super Bowl's tomorrow, fellas. Just to get back on topic again, Chiefs, Bucks, Brady, Mahomes. A lot of news going down. You guys follow us. Please hit the subscribe button, like, follow, share content, tell everybody about us. But Daquan, can you get to maybe get around to like that Carson Wentz news? Try to get that up on the page or something like that.
Once it's official.
Yeah, I mean, crank that rumor mill, make some noise. I don't care. Just cause chaos. Whatever, it's what we do. I like it. Yep, crank the rumor mill. So with the show, you can say the show, but the big game being on tomorrow. Just gonna go around, get everybody's initial thoughts on it. Drop your prediction and what you're feeling, So Benji, we'll start with you because you've been over there mad quiet the whole time. I haven't heard your face in a while. So what you
I
think?
just spoke a second ago. What are you talking about?
He misses your voice. He wants to hear your voice.
I know.
That's my blood. I miss his voice until he talked about me, and then I don't like it anymore.
Of course, that's how it works.
Unfortunately. What are your thoughts on the game?
All right, so we had this conversation outside of the Zoom call, in our regular daily BS conversations that happen all the time. When the championship weekends rolled around, I basically came out and said I don't have a preference when it comes to the Super Bowl. Every single matchup to me was intriguing. And this was one of the first ones that I brought up because you have the situation of Brady versus Mahomes, the all-time GOAT versus a guy who could turn around and become the one that supplants him as the GOAT. On top of the fact that this is the first time literally in NFL history that you have a host team in the Super Bowl. So Tampa, I don't know if they're actually the ones that's falling as the home team in the Super Bowl or whatever, but this is a straight up road game for Kansas City. So there's some intrigue that's going in there as well, on top of the fact that this is Brady's 10th Super Bowl. So there's a lot of different storylines and things that are playing into it. The Chiefs are trying to defend their throne. There's so many different things that are going into it, and I'm like really just intrigued as to how this game is going to go down. Now, the one issue that I have that I'm a little worried about when it comes to this game is the fact that Kansas City lost a couple of people in leading into the Super Bowl. So I'm like, how's this going to work out? And for what you just sent me, don't speak that up, Joe Anderson.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right. You said
Jaquan,
that four-letter S word that don't nobody need to hear.
Jaquan, what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't really have a horse in this race. I don't. Listen, Brady's off New England, so I have no reason to hate on him. But I think, to me, this is the equivalent to, like, what everybody wanted to see back in 2010 when it was supposed to be LeBron versus Kobe in the finals. And there was all that intrigue built up, and the whole season was like built around like this clash of the Titans, and then it just didn't happen. Like, this is, to me, this is the football equivalent, and it's happening. I'll give Kansas City that they're getting a couple of horses back. As much as they lost some people, they're getting some guys back. But losing their left tackle, that's tough. That's tough. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like, no matter the outcome, it's history making because, Brady gets 7, then that whole greatest athlete conversation between like him and LeBron, that whole GOAT, who's the better of the GOATs and all that stuff, that's going to get cranked up real loud because Brady will have 7, LeBron will have 5, I think, something like that. I mean, not LeBron, Jordan. Jordan will have 6, Brady will have 7, so that'll crank up. So I guess that'll be a talking point. It's just interesting. Like it's that classic like Kobe versus Jordan in the All-Star game. It's the KD versus an older LeBron. It's that kind of Clash of Titans kind of situation. But I think honestly, both quarterbacks are probably going to play well. It comes down to the trenches, and it comes down to what playmakers make plays. Because I mean, can the DBs hold Tariq Hill? The obvious answer is no, but we'll see. Can Mike Evans shut people up and prove that he's a top 5 receiver? I don't think so, but we'll see. Can Chris Godwin make himself some more money this summer? Probably, but we'll see. Can Scotty Tuhati actually break out and have a great game? I think he's gonna get lit up, but that's just me. So I mean, like there are several just different storylines that are the Chiefs being the first team since I think like the Patriots to go back to back. They have a chance to really start a dynasty here, and then Brady has a chance to ride off into the sunset, which he won't. But I mean, having 7 rings after going 10 times, got a better record than LeBron. I'll tell you that much. But I mean, hey, it's just interesting, and I'm just watching. I'm hoping to watch great football, and that it's not that the refs don't screw it up with all this ticky tack BS, but then they also don't let it get out of hand where nobody gets a call, and then they call a bad call like they did in the previous round with Green Bay. So I mean, I just hope the refs call a decent game, but I think the game is gonna be interesting to watch regardless.
Casey, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a common theme that everyone's saying. It's definitely an intriguing matchup, and I mean, I make no bones about it. I definitely am a bigger college football fan than pro, but I'm going to be glued to my television set at 6:30 until it's over tomorrow night. But this from a kind of a lax NFL fan, it's extremely interesting. Heck, you got almost a passing of the torch going on. But like Jay said, you don't think Brady's going to actually pass the torch yet. He's going to stick around for, he said, till 45 the other day. But having, like Paul, having lived and been around Tampa, I mean, I wasn't a Bucks fan, but went to many games. I love that town. I love the team, not necessarily the players, but it was always fun to go. So it's going to be fun. It's always fun. I was there for a Super Bowl a couple years ago. I don't know. I think it was Pittsburgh and somebody. It was a long time ago, actually. 2003, I think, was the last time it was there. But it was a lot of fun. The town's really buzzed there, and it's going to be a great game. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see it, and I think the two right teams are there. But we'll see if Carlton Davis can actually cover Tariq Hill, because he got lit up in week 12 and lit up in week 12.
Yeah, definitely. Paul.
This is a this is an interesting game. So of course, like everybody said before, this could be a passing of the torch where pretty much Brady gives it off to Mahomes. Brady has a 2-year contract, but apparently, I'm not sure the detail says that he has an option after this year to call it quits if he wants it and void the contract. So if they win it, does he retire and ride off in the sunset, or does he come back another year? If they lose, does he come back? There's a lot of questions just in the quarterback scenario right there. I mean, the Chiefs have the possibility to repeat, and then the question comes in like, how is the money going to be? I'm not sure who's a free agent after this year and who they got to resign, but they got a lot of important puzzles there on both sides of the ball. They got to try and maintain. This is interesting as well because, like Benny said, it's the first time ever in history where the host team, the whole city has their team in the Super Bowl. There's a lot that could happen here. That's a lot of history in the making. The one thing I'm looking for is to see which offense gets rolling, because as we saw, Tampa Bay had a little bit of issues. Antonio Brown didn't play the last game. Mike Evans had a little bit of the drop-itis going on. So
Typical.
yeah, I think he ate too many PB and J's and had peanut butter stuck in his hands, something like that. So we'll see if they can show up on the biggest game and the biggest stage of probably most likely their careers. Antonio Brown's been there, so we know he can ball out in the Super Bowl. The question is going to be healthy. How healthy is going to be? But can Mike Evans step up when the team actually needs him right now? So it's a lot of things to look at, and which defense can actually hold. It's tough to hold the Kansas City offense when they're running. So it's a lot of things to look at. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game, and the halftime show is gonna be interesting if you're gonna watch that one. I know Jay's against it, but
I don't even know who's in it besides the weekend.
It's just the weekend. But I heard that he dropped more of his own personal money to put on a bigger
$7 million.
Yeah, to put a bigger escapade, bigger show.
Is this official?
Yeah,
Yep.
He's making because he's gonna use the extra space that's in the stadium for the show.
We're not talking about that though.
Yeah.
We just got breaking news. Mr. Ron with another MVP. Mr. Ron himself. Mr. Ron himself.
Wow.
They drafted a quarterback last year. He said, put some respect on my name. Say, yo, hold my beer, young fella. Let me show you something. Let me show you something right quick.
We're not even gonna get into the into that whole conversation.
Joe, how you feeling about the game?
So me, again, like it's pretty much the same as you guys think. My thing is like, it's funny how everything is so set up this year. Like Brady leaves New England, and everybody, the whole thing coming in was Brady just a system quarterback, or was Brady a great QB, and is Belichick overrated and everything? So the fact that Tom took that team to Super Bowl is like tremendous in itself. Obviously they won the NFC Championship. He's been, a great leader on and off the field. He put up good numbers. Now, he did have his inconsistencies like last week. He struggled last week. And against a team, he had, his 300 yards passing, but he had 3 interceptions, and he looked bad on some of these throws. Some of these throws, he looked really bad. A couple of years ago, he would have made those throws. A couple of years ago, he probably wouldn't even made the decision to make those throws. So it's like you do see some of the decline, and honestly, those 3 interceptions should have been about 5 or 6. Like one of the safeties of the Packers just got bodied at the air for one. Another, they dropped like 2 of them, and they kept giving them chances. And I think the Chiefs' defense is better than the Packers. So I know if the Chiefs' defense actually takes advantage of those opportunities, takes the ball out of this man's hands 4 to 5 times, you're talking a completely different game. You have to play a perfect game, a very perfect game in order to beat the Chiefs. Like you can't throw 5 picks against the Chiefs and expect to win, because these guys throw 5 picks. That's damn near 20. Like that's damn near 5 touchdowns automatically coming from the Chiefs. Hard pressed to stop that team's offense. And again, like you said, the Bucks defense is just they got. Yeah, it is suspect. It's very inconsistent.
On the back end, they are.
Yeah, that secondary. I mean, you have Antoine Winfield, and he's been playing great. He's a rookie.
Great.
Yeah, but I think they lost. Like you said, Carlton Davis was getting torched, and then they lost Whitehead. I don't know if Jordan Whitehead's playing tomorrow. I know he got hurt last week in the championship game. I don't know if he's out. I don't know what his status is for the game. But I feel like at the loss of another starting people.
Last I read, he was in practice,
so he might be playing.
Yeah.
And Carlton Davis is a pretty decent DB, but Tyreek Hill's a cheat code, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
Because it's pick your poison. It was really pick your poison. You have Tariq, you got DeMarcus, you got McCall Hardman, you got Sammy Watkins,
and
you got Travis Kelce. Like, and now unless you have Levante David spying Travis Kelce the whole game, like like what are you doing? Even Antoine Winfield, he's a safety, but he's 5'8". You put a 5'8" safety on a 6'6" Kelce's gonna abuse you. So it really is a pick your poison as far as who you're gonna guard on that team. But like when you look at the NFL and you see the storylines and everything, it's just, to me, it's so so perfectly cliched. It's set up for Tom to win because again, you have the whole storyline of was it him? Was he a system guy? Was it Belichick's coaching? Can he do it without Belichick? Now he's here. The Super Bowl is in Tampa, which is essentially a home game for these guys. They're playing at their field. Like it's it's like you're playing a home game for a Super Bowl. The only thing that they're not going to allow is if they can't shoot off the cannons when they score a touchdown. That's the only thing that they're not going to allow.
But if they win, they can apparently.
Really, I didn't even see that part.
If they win the game, they're going to allow the cannons to go off.
I like that idea. It's just let it go. Like you're at home, give them something. You know what I'm saying? Give them something.
It's not supposed to be a home game though. Like that's the thing. Like it's not supposed to be a home game. Like why do you get a home game for the Super Bowl? Why do you get all your home features and all the other shit for the Super Bowl? Like to me,
stop picking host cities with teams. If you're gonna do that, stop picking host cities with teams.
I mean, I hear you and I feel you. Like, why do that? But I mean, it's there and it's their stadium, and they just want it. Give them something, you know. And
so they shoot off the whole game. What's the cannon fire in the first quarter gonna change? Like
you want to kind of keep it neutral, but to go what Jay's saying is like the whole thing is you only have a certain place that you can go unless you have a dome, and every team pretty much has the ability to get a home game in the Super Bowl. They just got to get there. So it's not like putting in a very neutral field. Now you're limiting yourself to the size of that stadium.
But it also isn't going from a business standpoint. It's not a good thing to happen. I mean, thankfully, I guess you got COVID this year, but the NFL wants, and those towns want those people to fly into town, spend money in their town. Now you have Tampa in Tampa. Well, if it were an actual home game, those fans they're not spending money in the hotels. They're not spending money in the restaurants. They're staying home, and then they're going to go to the game, turn around, go home. So it's not a good thing business-wise for the NFL at all. Maybe 2020, it's a different story, but moving forward,
I agree. The whole city doesn't want their team to get there because of the money, the revenue they can come in with. But we also have to remember those tickets are not cheap. So
no doubt.
So it's like you can have it, the whole team could be there, but not everybody's going to be there. It's not the usual ticket. So everybody's still going to fly in because, of course, if you can afford to make it to get in those tickets, you got it. You got to have some money.
They say it's such a white collar event. I mean, it's never really a home.
I think the nosebleed section is like $8,000 for the tickets. Yeah,
I got a buddy down there that lives on Swan Avenue, not far from the stadium, and he's a huge Chiefs fan, born and raised St. Joe, Missouri, where they had their practice training camps. And he was looking the other day. I think it dropped to $5,600 for a nosebleed.
Yeah,
dropped.
Yeah,
word.
Dropped. I love that.
Dropped to more than making a month. Great.
Just open your windows. It's 84 degrees down there. Just open your window. You'll hear the damn stadium.
You gotta. The other thing too, you gotta look at though. I think it being here in Tampa, Florida, is the best spot during this pandemic because of the fact that Florida has allowed events to go live and people come in compared to everybody else in the country. So the NFL got lucky with this, where they're able to like kind of spread it out, and it's interesting to look because of the fact that. Going back to the 3 count, WWE is looking to see how this plays out because WrestleMania is going to be at Raymond James on a 2-night event. So if this goes out well for the Super Bowl and NFL, Vince is going to love it. He is going to make money off of this one, and we know it. 2 nights of WrestleMania, whew. So,
please pass it to Jay. Please pass it to
Jay. Hey Jay, here's the mic. Go ahead.
At this point, I feel like people it's a mission impossible to see who died first. People just act like there's no pandemic exists. Florida just has some magical force field around it where nobody gets sick in Florida. So we just gonna open everything. And
unless you're in Miami, apparently.
Apparently, Miami the only motherfuckers getting sick.
That's because the Miami people like partying on top of each other.
Have you seen some of the parties that's going on in Tampa? Have you seen some of the stuff that's going on social media in Tampa?
Oh yeah, trust me, I know.
The sweat is humping each other. You want to talk about a super spread event? You might as well just gas the place with COVID at this point.
Gas it with COVID.
Like play Russian roulette, figure out who get it, figure out who don't.
Yeah.
Like, y'all Florida people is a goddamn trip. I don't know what the hell to say. Y'all Florida people is a real, y'all is a piece of work. Yeah.
All I know is for
really a piece of work.
the NFL experience was crazy. You had to pick a time slot to go into the NFL experience. Then you had to download an app where they ask you questions in regards to your health. All that just to get in.
People gonna tell the truth about that.
Here's the best part. I saw an offer of people actually selling their time slots for the NFL experience. I'm like, bro, what? Just for free? Are you serious?
The secondary market always finds a way.
Yeah.
The secondary market always finds a way.
It's like they say, nothing is free.
Like,
I got it for free, but it's gonna cost you something to get my free things. So.
Yeah, of course.
Peyton Manning to the Hall of Fame.
I was gonna stop announcing that, but I mean, we knew that one was coming.
Oh yeah.
At this point, they're announcing eligibility for next year. Let's go, Steve Smith. That's about the only person I care about on that list.
And let's just put the Super Bowl in Hawaii every year or something.
Something.
Just like
at that point, that is neutral ground though, because Hawaii does not have a team, so that is neutral ground, to be honest.
And they need the revenue. They need the revenue more than any other state right now.
Man.
But
here, everybody fly to Hawaii.
But let's be honest though. Let's be honest. If you put in Hawaii, it will definitely end up being a white collar event, because Hawaii is not cheap, and we know that.
You selling nosebleeds for $5,600? You think blue collar people gonna show up to these things?
Hey, some people
that's showing up is the soldiers that they giving free tickets to.
Some people save their money, bro. Some people save their money. They save the coins.
Healthcare workers.
$5,600. Who making money in this pandemic? What blue collar people making money? How you saving up $5,600 and everybody lost their job? What the hell?
401k savings, bro. That's a lot.
Not living up in Jersey.
Come on, bro.
Hey, if a nosebleed ticket dropped to $5,600 in a pandemic year, we're not paying that. Nobody's going to this game. It's gonna be all white collar regardless.
What blue collar person is doing that? Explain this to me.
Nobody.
If you can afford to do that, I don't consider you blue collar. I'm sorry. You lost your collar. You might as well get a red collar, purple collar, orange collar, something. You ain't no damn blue collar.
Yeah, you're not working hourly at that point. Yeah.
No. It could be hourly or something. Doesn't matter. I know where I'll be tomorrow. I won't be getting that
my name is Pablo Escobar.
I'm saying, only white collar, you definitely ain't blue collar, because your collar must be sprinkled with that little white dust, because you affording $5,600 for a nosebleed. Like, what you mean? You selling some heavy white dust.
National Championship 2017 in Tampa went for like $1,100 to get in the door. Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. I thought that was ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
That's more blue collar than $5,600 down from $8,000.
But it was also two teams that could drive there. It was Alabama and Clemson. I went to Phoenix the year before, and tickets walking in, scalpers were selling them for under $200 because it was Clemson, Alabama in Phoenix. No one's driving out there. So I think that goes into play in the business world too, like how easy it is to get to.
Here in Florida.
All right. I mean, so the tickets went down again. Nosebleeds down to $5,300.
Oh, a whole $300 before tomorrow's kickoff.
Wait. Hold up.
Somebody saving $300.
I can pull that now.
Do we get discounted group prices? More than 3 people.
Lower level sideline. Lower level sideline 17,000.
You know,
I heard some dude. Bought.
People haven't watched football since 1992.
Yeah, I heard some dude spent $75,000 on 3 lower level tickets.
Even if I had the money,
bruh. Even if I had the money, I'm not doing that.
No.
Hey, Jeff Bezos, can you give me a loan? I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl, please.
Listen, bro, I'm going to. You know what's more fun than that? the bars that are open, I run the risk. If I'm risking it, I'm going to a bar. Get me some hot wings.
Apparently,
taking a seat with some elbow room.
But they social distance in the seats, so apparently that's what I'm saying. That's why WWE is looking and see how they're doing it. They're not filling it out. You remember, they're only selling 22,000 seats of the available 70,000 seats in there, and 7,500 tickets are going out to healthcare workers. That's why the big deal for WWE is looking to see how they're setting this up and how can they duplicate this and what are the ramifications of this. Does anybody does it work out for them?
Wait, let me get this right. So at this point, it's just about, I was one of the people that got a ticket to the Super Bowl during the pandemic. So you have to pay to look stupid at this point. You just got to pay to look stupid.
Unless you're one of the 7,500 that got free tickets for being
tickets. Because, I mean, they're healthcare workers. They get the pass. Everybody else, I'm looking at you like, bruh, you might as well just invest in Bitcoin. If you got it to spend like that, go invest in Bitcoin, make yourself some money. Yeah. Come on, bro. Or doggy coin or something. This ain't worth it. This ain't gonna be worth it. I'm sorry. Y'all might as well pump in some crowd noise or something, because that is the definition of ridiculous.
Well, we're not gonna sit on here for like hours. You know.
Oh my God.
We're not gonna sit here for hours. I know we all could do it. So let's get through this. Paul, where are we at right now, Paul? Or Casey, where are we at right now?
For what? Time?
Time.
There is no time on this one. When it records, doesn't give you a time.
All right. Well, we're gonna finish this off. Get out of here.
So I got a question. Hold on, let me get this question here. So three questions. Who are you looking to see perform well in Super Bowl is the first one. Second, who do you believe may get a little bit shy on the big stage? And three, who will surprise us on a big stage? So the first one, who's gonna be consistent? Who will show up no matter what? Like Tom Brady, he's there, he'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna like disappear, like Mike Evans? You know, may disappear, and who is someone that we don't is gonna be like pop out like damn, kind of like a Dexter Jackson, you know, years ago. Like, who do you guys feel, Casey?
I'm going first.
Yeah, because you're to my right, so like.
I get all my names from Jay, so I don't know. All right, what's the first question again?
Okay, who's so who show up? Like, who do you think will be there no matter what? Like say Tom Brady. Tom Brady's always going to be in the Super Bowl. So like,
I'm going to say Tyreek Hill for that question, just because I haven't seen him slow at all, and I've not seen anybody slow him. So they throw this fly route literally that if Mahomes senses a blitz, he calls it. Tyreek Hill just goes deep and he just tosses it up to him deep and he runs under it. It's scary how good this guy is. Yeah. Second question: who's gonna shy away? That's a good question too. I think maybe Clyde Edwards-Helaire a little bit, just because he's a rookie on the big stage and he's had a great season. He's had a great rookie season, I think. He's kind of been their workhorse, really. Maybe they shut him down a little bit. Tampa front seven's pretty damn good. And what was that third question? Did you ask the same question twice?
Who is the one that like will surprise you?
Surprise. Yeah. Mecole Hardman. I like Mecole Hardman because I think Tampa's going to do. Sorry, Joe. I think Tampa's going to do everything that they possibly can do to stop Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. I don't know if it's possible to do either, but Mahomes might need a secondary option, and I'm thinking Hardman has slowly started his build. Obviously, a punt returner, kick returner. He's electric, but he's kind of gone under the radar. So I think he might shine tomorrow.
So let me rephrase that first question, make it easier. Who's your Super Bowl MVP? Who will disappear on the big stage, and then who is the surprise player?
My answers stay the same.
Yeah. Jay?
Honestly, my MVP outside of the quarterbacks, because I feel like the quarterbacks are just a given at this point. Travis Kelce, you know, I think because we know how good the linebackers in Tampa Bay are, that Andy Reid's really going to dial it up for Travis Kelce to put those boys to work. And I think Travis Kelce is the type of dude that can expose and open up that middle. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell and those guys can actually do work in the middle, but also because of the fact that, you know, everybody just assumes the tight end's going to get locked down. And people, for some strange reason, as much as they give him the respect, they still find a way to underrate Travis Kelce. Like, Travis Kelce is not nice. Like, Travis Kelce wasn't the number one option before Tyreek Hill got there. Like, Travis Kelce is nice, and he is going to put that work in. Like, he's going to get his. He's going to get his. Who I think is going to disappoint? Let's see. Le'Veon Bell, Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans. Like, I think Mike Evans is just going to choke the way he always chokes in big moments.
You got to pick one, man.
I got to pick one. Then I'm gonna go with Mike Evans because I mean, Sir drops a lot. I mean, Mr. No Hands, Mr. No Show.
Don't throw it to Stone Hands.
The whole year about how he gonna talk about, oh, I'm a top 5 receiver, and then get smoked for like the next 3 games. Get absolutely smoked. Homeboy gonna have. They want to talk about Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. You're gonna see Mike Evans' hands go ghost. Just drop right through him whole time. I'm telling you, I'm calling it. And what did you say? What was the last question?
Who's like the breakout star? Your sleeper pick.
The breakout star. The only other guy that kind of, I think it's twofold because I think that Tampa Bay is gonna have one. Like Tampa Bay, I think it's gonna be that Scotty kid because you know, you're gonna have to cover so many receivers. Somebody's gonna get open. Somebody's gonna be consistent.
Scotty Miller.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go with Leonard Fournette because I feel like Leonard Fournette is gonna be a guy that, because again, you can't stop Tampa Bay on all levels, and I feel like with Tom Brady, you can't rely on his arm as much because if you rely on his arm, he's liable to make a mistake. Because let's face it, he's old and he will make a mistake. That defense wins for you. Like, people don't want to admit it, but it's basically Peyton in Denver. The defense wins it for you, sure, but Brady doesn't lose it for you. And if you make Brady throw too much, he's gonna lose it for you. So they're gonna lean on that running back stable. And on the Chiefs side, I think, yeah, Mecole Hardman. Because I mean, he's just the only guy that's kind of left, or Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins could definitely be a guy that everyone's kind of given up on, but he's a great short route, intermediate route receiver, and he's great in and out of his routes. Like, he can do some damage. And those DBs are going to be so focused on the speed that he's just going to eat up the middle. Him and Kelce will probably eat up the middle the whole game. So yeah, those are my guys.
Any?
As far as MVP goes, I mean, picking a quarterback would be easy. I'd probably have to piggyback off of Jay and say Travis Kelce. Disappointment? I don't know if I could call this a disappointment because, like, the two of them have been a little iffy leading up towards the Super Bowl anyway, but Evans and Godwin both. They both had a case of the drop season. It's just like, all right, I'm pretty sure the week off helped them, but you're talking about both of these guys, if I remember correctly, playing in their very first Super Bowl. So jitters are going to be there. As far as your surprise, I'm going to say it's going to have to be Fournette. Fournette, I got a feeling, is going to be out there trying to prove something. I can feel he's going to be out there with a chip on his shoulder because he's been stuck in purgatory his entire career up until now, and he's finally made it to the big game. So this is his opportunity to do it, but, you know, I don't know if that's actually going to be enough.
You want to go?
You're missing. I thought you were missing one. No, MVP. Who did you say was MVP?
Yeah, MVP, disappointment, and surprise.
Okay, so MVP, I will actually go. Sorry, so my MVP and surprise are kind of twofold. I'll go with my disappointment. My disappointment, I feel, will be Mike Evans. I think he's gonna get the sweats. I don't think he's ready for this, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt him, and it's gonna hurt his pockets too, because he's had that big deal. And when that's over, I don't think he's gonna get that big money anymore. In regards to MVP and surprise, you got to look at the. I think the game will be based more on the running back stables on both teams, because the depth on both teams is really good, and I think the Chiefs just have a little more on their side. So I think I'm gonna go with what was it, Claire? I can't pronounce his name.
Oh,
Hilaire?
it was
Clyde
Hilaire.
Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, I'm going with him as my
LSU.
surprise, and I think Mahomes will win the MVP. But I think Claire will be a surprise. I think we'll have a great game because the reason being, I think both teams are not going to fill in the box because they're worried about the receivers and the outside and not getting hit up and lit up on the sidelines. So they're not going to play. They're not going to fill in the box. So this is going to be a ground game, and who can actually win in the trenches, and whose running back stable can actually break out for more yardage and more points on the board. So I think Claire actually has a better chance of doing this for the Chiefs than anybody else. Or Clyde, sorry. Clyde, I think Clyde will be the one here. So I think he'll put on a good show, and I think he'll be on everybody's radar after this game.
You got him as the MVP.
I got him as a breakout star, but Mahomes as my MVP.
Ah,
Yep.
For just to finish that part off, I will. A lot of you guys picked up like the probably same people that I was gonna say. Uh, so I'll just go backwards. But for my biggest surprise, or people I think when I'm really gonna break out, I'm gonna say like I know you guys said Fournette. I'm gonna go with just the Bucks run game in general. I'm gonna go Fournette and possibly Rojo, and just see how they work in tandem because Fournette had like a big game last week against the Packers, and I just want to see going forward because they have them two and they have Keyshawn Vaughn too, and Vaughn had a couple good, solid running Packers as well. So that whole running back thing, I just want to see how they're going to work in the Super Bowl because
And
again, it's
Shady.
all yeah. But he's like running back four, like, but they're like it's just like so much. Like none of these guys have been there. Like they've never been there. Again, like what Benji said, like Fournette's been just sitting there in purgatory for his first however many years of his life. Rojo's just been now kind of figuring out how to be an NFL running back. He's just transferring how he's transferring and getting better in his game. And you got the rookie Keyshawn Vaughn. He gets a couple third down touches here and there, but like is this moment going to be too big for him? Because I mean, debatably, the Chiefs' defense is better than it was last year. So I mean, if you're stepping in against one of the best defenses in the league, yeah, you got Chris Jones in the middle. Your secondary solid. Your linebacker core does their job. Like, it's a lot to step into with three inexperienced running backs. I mean, like not even like Fournette's not even like playoff experience. It's not like they hit a wild card or anything. Just sat there on the Jaguars, just wasting his time away. Like, so this is all new territory for them. I want to see how they're going to be in the game. Um, as far, I mean, it sucks because I almost want to say like that. Those would be to me again. Like those are gonna be my biggest surprise. But like I won't be exactly shocked if they also disappoint. So it's weird. Like it's like, do you show up or not to the game? It's really tough for me to say who I think is going to disappoint. I don't want to say like the receiver core because again, I mean Chris Godwin's a pinpoint. I can't hate on Chris Godwin. Like, but the guy's been very inconsistent. Like I don't know what's going on, but he's been dropping a lot lately. And like Jay said, like Mike Evans made his bold comments and he has not backed him up since then. Like he's been dropping everything under the sun lately. I don't know what it is. And again, like I said before, these guys have to play a perfect game, a damn near perfect game in order to come out and win tomorrow. Like Tom can't go out and throw 5 picks. Receivers can't go out here on crucial third downs and drop big, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8. Select across the middle, post routes, comeback. They can't be coming back and forth and dropping. It's not gonna work. So it's tough to really pinpoint one person that I can say right now for sure that I think is gonna disappoint. You know, not to be the one asshole, just kind of be roundabout about my answer. But like it's just really tough to pinpoint that. Like I said, like I think those guys, I think the running back stable, in my opinion, uh, for the Bucks has the most potential to either surprise me or disappoint me tomorrow. I think it's really going to be on them. And my MVP is the only thing I'm going to go different from you guys. My MVP is going to be the Bucks offensive line because if they can keep Tom upright, they have a big chance. They have a good chance of winning because that's the main thing. Last week was Tom didn't have a lot of pressure in his face from the Packers, which you would think because I mean they have Preston Smith, they have Zadarius Smith. Like the Packers picked up some solid pieces on that D line. You know, they have Kenny and they have Ken Clark in the middle. They got what's his name, Sean Gary. They got names. It's like and they got to Brady a couple times, but like Brady had some times where he was sitting back there like Patriot days, where he was just chilling in the backfield. So I mean, if the Bucks obviously they're going to be the unsung heroes, you're not going to call the whole Bucks starting five up on the podium and give them when they're featuring. But like this is also just me being a offensive line coach now. Like this is coach bias. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I know offensive lines win a damn game for you. So if your offensive line goes out there and again you have that the Chiefs defensive line and Chiefs linebackers and they love to send pressure. And Benji knows my man Steve Spagnuolo was running that defense.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to sit here and be flying around that field. He's not sitting back neither. He's going to be sending Tyrann Mathieu off the edge and everything.
Shaw Breeland.
Yep, Rashard Breeland too. So if that Bucks O line can hang in there and give Tom the time of day to make those throws, and he can open up those holes for Rojo and for Fournette and Keyshawn Vaughn, the Bucks have a good shot at winning. Like I said, that home field advantage is going to play the biggest factor. Like you're home, you're comfortable. Like you know what I'm saying? Because again, shoe on the other foot. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be this guy. But shoe on the other foot. If they were playing in Arrowhead, right now, would this be a fair game? Come on now, like
there's no question. There's no questions.
In the NFL, we'll be sitting here like, maybe we should move the game because Tom Brady. Let's move the game. Like, or else it's not really fair. But because it's Tom Brady versus Belichick, and he left the Patriots, and we want to see if he could do it on his own. He could be that guy. He's such a system quarterback, and he's at a home game to go out and win. If he loses, then I'm just like, damn, like you really lost a home game. Like, come on now, like, but you just gotta see. Honestly, I think before we go, and I am also like trying to look at these NFL Hall of Fame class stuff and everything too. Steph Curry put up 57 points too, by the way. Yeah.
Did they win though? That's the question. Did they win?
No,
then it doesn't matter. We're not giving those participation. We're not giving those participation trophies out here, man. Yeah, we're not doing that. That's what you're supposed to do.
Before we go, if you guys can throw out any type of prediction for a score, you guys can pull numbers right out of your head. What are you guys thinking? I'm going to go to Paul. I want to put you on the spot first. What do you think? Who wins in the score?
I think it's going to be a shootout because these are high offenses. I think the defense is going to have trouble stopping them. I'm going with a 38 27 the Chiefs.
Casey?
If you see my boy back here, that's Bucks punter Bradley Pinion. It's going to be a long night for the Bucks. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 41-14 Kansas City.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like to be different.
I
41-14.
likes that. I
Benji, what
likes
you got?
that.
Man, I at least gave the Bucks some points, man.
Well, it was that Week 12 game really soured me, man. I just don't know. I can't see what they're gonna do different this week.
Benji, what you got?
This one's a little tough for me. I'm thinking because there's the JPP connection that I'm sitting up here. Part of me wants to say that Tampa will actually pull this one out just because of JPP.
Bags.
However,
Bags.
I know, but as you know, because I texted you and John earlier, I have 56 different lineups out going for in FanDuel tomorrow.
This guy.
And the thing is, going over them, a lot of them are really Chiefs heavy, which is me just going out there and thinking like, there's really no way that Tampa should be able to keep up with this team unless Kansas City losing their left tackle is going to be that devastating for them. Even with 2 weeks of training, even with 2 weeks with this guy practicing with the ones to back up, I don't see it happen. I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm not gonna go as bad as Casey, but I'm gonna say Kansas City 41-24.
Man, y'all just. Damn. Jay, what you got?
That's tough. That's a very tough question. But between Sir Drops a lot and the fact that Kansas City can light you up in 2 plays and score on you, and Kansas City gets a nice little boost to their receiving core. I'm gonna go 44-28 Kansas City.
Damn. Y'all are just. Damn. It's not. Nothing's worse than Casey's one so far. But God damn. What
Gotta
the
leave
heck?
my
I
mark,
give
Joe.
him 28. Listen, I think Mike Evans will catch something. I just think
Well,
he'll drop
just
when
remember
it's important.
the week
Mike Evans
12,
gonna
he
catch
only
a
had.
cold in Tampa.
This is funny. In week 12, Mike Evans had 3 catches for 50 yards and 2 TDs.
So that's what I'm saying. I think he's gonna get the
Garbage time.
touchdowns. He's gonna get the
Garbage time.
touchdowns. Like I'm not surprised about that. It's just the fact of when it's time to keep pace with that offense, and that D has to deal with Sammy Watkins eating them up, and Zeus out there, killing them linebackers, killing them safeties, and then you got Tyreek like, all right, they soft belly in the middle, go on 2 plays, back-to-back drops, and Tariq come out with looking like Devonta Smith in the national championship. Nah, dog. Nah, dog. You're not keeping up with that one. Barring some kind of crazy injury, because I feel like that there's also the possibility of that because the refs are gonna, protect Tom Brady at all costs.
Of course.
It's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a blowout. There's no reason why Kansas City shouldn't score on these dudes consistently. Like to a point where we're gonna start seeing trick plays just so Andy Reid can see what else he can use in this book for next year. Wouldn't even surprise me if Tariq Hill threw a touchdown this game.
Well, I think. I think it's going to be a closer game than all you guys do, honestly.
Hope you're right.
Yeah, I think it is, man. I honestly have it. I have it not a nail biter, not a nail biter, but I don't have Kansas City putting up 40 plus. So I had it. I had it 38. Had it about 38-31. I still have KC winning, but I have it about around there. I want to say like 38-27, 38-21, or something around there. But I don't have. I'm not putting a 40 spot up, but like I still think KC wins. Like I said, it's very storybook. The Super Bowl, like it's almost too perfect of a storm to like so for Tom to lose this one. If he does, it's like it's so I'd be shocked, honestly. Like I said, I think KC wins, but I will not be surprised if the Bucks win tomorrow because it's too storybook. Like it really is. I don't care who wins, honestly. You know, I didn't care if Tom won because Tom's not on the Patriots anymore, so I don't care. And I like
That is the key.
So yeah, so I really don't care who wins, but it's like I see it too storybook of a thing that he doesn't win. Like it doesn't. It's just again I hate to keep saying it, but it's like it's Bill versus Tom. You see how the Patriots were without Tom this year. If Tom's on the Patriots, they probably would have at least went 9-7, maybe 10-6, because he's Tom Brady. Like at the end of the day, he's a goat. So I mean, like you have the whole Tom versus Bill thing. That's not the good look because obviously Tom did it without Bill, but now you brought to the Super Bowl, different head coach, first year head coach with them. You have a home game. Like you have to end this. You have to end the storybook tale off correctly. You have to end it right. So I can see the Bucks winning, but I personally have the Chiefs winning tomorrow. So I mean, we'll see what happens. But I'm just looking at the Hall of Fame class. Also, I see there's Bill Nunn. Some we missed Drew Pearson, Bill Nunn, and somebody else we missed too. That went in the Hall of Fame class as well. Oh yeah, so the whole Hall of Fame class is Charles Woodson, Calvin Johnson, Drew Pearson, Alan Faneca, Bill Nunn, John Lynch, Tom Flores, and Peyton Manning. That's the whole class. So, but if you guys don't have anything else tonight, I think we can call it. We'll probably be in touch throughout the duration of the game, talking about it back and forth. What?
Probably. There's a question mark at the end of that? Like we will be.
Well, I mean, depending on how many beers I have tomorrow. Maybe we'll go live at Oakland, Benji.
Yeah, okay. No. We're not doing that.
Yes, we are. We're going live tomorrow at Oak, everybody. We're going on Facebook Live at Oak. We're going to do it for the draft, so we might as well do it.
We'll get your account suspended, not mine.
Why
You're
am I
crazy.
We already have one criminal over here, right? We don't need another one. My God.
Yeah,
Plead
Mr.
the
2%,
fifth.
Mr. 98%. There you go.
Thank you. Like, I'm about to take another percent away from him. I'll be 99 before tomorrow. Watch. I'm a lot of things, Paul. Criminal is not one of them.
I'm in Facebook jail.
What? I ain't get caught doing nothing.
I'm in Facebook jail.
I ain't get caught. Chill out.
Yeah. I know.
You can keep your 2%, Paul. I'm not gonna take it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Can I have another?
No. All right, Paul. We're done here. Everybody, thanks for watching the video. Until next time, we will probably maybe do a Super Bowl reactions, blah blah video, post some stuff during the game. We're gonna stay on top of the Carson Wentz stuff, and then after the season's over, it's the best time of the season because it's NFL off season. I look forward to this more than the goddamn season itself, at least lately because the Giants are ass. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Like, support, share, comment down below. We're out. Perfect.